The moment I realized Soos was more than just comic relief was when he was standing in front of a cursed arcade machine, being hunted by a digital anime girlfriend who wanted to download his brain and love him forever. And he was kinda okay with it. This guy is the emotional sponge of Gravity Falls, the human safety net, the accidental hero, and maybe the most secretly broken person in the entire show. Sure, he thinks ghosts are just old people with unfinished chores. But dig a little deeper, and Soos starts looking less like a side character, and more like the one holding everything together with duct tape, trauma, and exactly zero boundaries. So today, we're pulling back the curtain on the weirdest, wildest, and weirdly realest dude in Gravity Falls. Stick around because things are about to get funny, uncomfortable, and just a little bit heartbreaking. You remember the episode Blendin's Game? When Dipper and Mabel are time hopping around like it's a casual Tuesday. And in the chaos, Dipper drops a screwdriver. Not a cursed artifact, just a regular screwdriver. And who finds it? Our man Soos, who does what any morally upright, slightly confused weirdo would do, decides to return it to the Mystery Shack. Timeline changed, fate altered, reality slightly dented, but who cares? That random act of decency leads to Stan hiring Soos. Not because of qualifications, but because he just fired someone and needed a warm body with at least one tool. And that's how Soos accidentally became the Shack's handyman, and later its full-blown owner. But the thing is, without Soos, the Pines twins probably wouldn't have survived half the summer. No golf cart, no escapes, no tool fixes, no plot. No Soos crashing into monsters at the last second. So technically no show. So yeah, the show's existence basically hinges on a dropped screwdriver and a guy who once tried to high-five a ghost and then apologized to the ghost. But if you think that was peak Soos, oh, you have no idea what kind of logic this man lives by. Soos' logic isn't wrong. It's just from a different universe. Like, you ask him for a hammer and he hands you a churro. And somehow, that churro ends up saving your life. This is the same guy who confidently told Dipper that the mailman was probably a werewolf.
Dude, I believe you. I'm always noticing weird stuff in this town. Like the mailman? Pretty sure that dude's a werewolf.
Then played race cars with dead batteries like it was an Olympic event. At one point, he even said, "I accidentally stubbed my brain." And yeah, we felt that, but that exact nonsense energy works. Like when he helps summon the Summerween trickster by being Soos, and then later crashes a truck straight into it to save everyone, or when he randomly joins dangerous missions and you're thinking, please no. But somehow things end up okay. He's not exactly the plan, but he is definitely the plot twist. And look, Soos isn't broken, he's just tuned to a different radio station that rewinds awkwardly and occasionally predicts the apocalypse. He might also be broadcasting this channel, so hey, if your brain's still vibing with this, go ahead and subscribe. Anyway, back to the story. There's a crack in all that Soos energy, and once a year it shows. Soos doesn't like birthdays, which at first sounds like another quirky Soos thing. Like eating gum off the underside of a vending machine, or thinking VHS tapes are still the future. But Blendin's Game reveals the reason behind the birthday blues. It's because it's the day Soos realized his dad wasn't coming back. Every year he'd wait by the mailbox, until one day his grandma gently explained what everyone else already knew. Happy birthday, Soos. Here's your lifetime supply of emotional trauma. And this isn't just background lore. Mabel and Dipper literally travel back in time and watch it happen. It's gut-wrenching, the kind of scene that makes you pause the episode and just stare at the floor for a second. And when Soos is offered a time wish, what does he ask for? He asks for a never-ending slice of pizza. And before you roll your eyes, just think about it. That wish isn't dumb. It's comfort and consistency. It's something he can actually count on. Because sometimes food is love, especially when your real one never showed up. But while his heart's running on comfort food and abandonment issues, his brain, it surprises you a lot more than it should. Okay, listen, Soos isn't exactly the guy you'd call if your life depended on quantum physics or reading fine print. But when it comes to surviving paranormal madness, the man is basically a savant. Like in Land Before Swine, a whole pterodactyl is chasing the group, and Soos, this guy, saves the day by walking in its blind spot. And it works, because he runs on pure lizard brain survival instinct. But it doesn't stop there. Soos has a weird talent for fixing stuff that absolutely should not be fixable. Broken time machines? Sure. Cursed laptops? Why not? He even helps McGucket build a giant mech shack during Weirdmageddon like it's no big deal. And in Into the Bunker, he's the one literally standing next to the emergency button. The only reason Dipper doesn't get crushed by collapsing walls is because Soos is exactly where he needs to be. How? No clue. Maybe dumb luck, maybe divine intervention, or maybe Soos just runs on cartoon logic. He doesn't follow the rules of science. He follows the rules of hit it until it works. And 9 times out of 10, it does. The guy's not a genius in the normal way. But wait, here's something the show barely glosses over. Soos' house is basically one step away from being condemned. He lives with his sweet abuelita in a place that looks like it's been abandoned since the 90s. The fridge is empty except for ketchup packets, the cabinets are falling apart, and there are cockroaches doing parkour on the ceiling. Like, I get it, rustic charm and all, but bro, you work at a functioning tourist trap. Where is your plumbing? What makes it weirder is that Soos does have a job, a decent one. And when the Mystery Shack gets shut down, he doesn't just give up. He picks up 3 other jobs to keep himself afloat. Grave digger, bus driver, line cook, and yet he still doesn't upgrade his living conditions. So what's going on? Is this just Soos being Soos? Or is there something deeper? Neglect, depression, maybe even self-punishment. Turns out the mess hides the guy holding everyone else together. You know those people who seem like total background characters, but then you realize they've quietly been holding everything together while everyone else is having emotional breakdowns? Yeah, that's Soos. He's the glue that keeps Gravity Falls from completely collapsing into emotional chaos. Like when Gideon takes over the shack and basically kicks the Pines family to the curb, Soos offers up his house without blinking. Yeah, sure, come stay with me and my grandma in this borderline haunted apartment with no milk, no working cabinets, and probably ghosts in the walls. Without any hesitation. And just when you think he's only there for moral support, fate hands him a symbol and a seat at the cosmic table. So there's this big dramatic prophecy in Gravity Falls, the Zodiac. Each symbol tied to someone crucial in the fight against Bill Cipher. You've got a pine tree, a shooting star, the glasses, the flame, and then there's Soos, represented by a question mark, which honestly felt about right. The dude once tried to date an anime disc and casually eats expired food like it's a food group. Cosmic Warrior? Not the first label you'd slap on him. But here's the plot twist, that why is he even here vibe? It flips. Soos ends up being one of the most quietly essential characters in the entire show. He protects the journals, he saves Dipper, Mabel, and Stan multiple times. He helps rebuild the shack into a mech, survives Weirdmageddon, and literally holds Stan back from forcing Mabel to shut down the portal. That decision saved Ford, saved everything. But let me tell you what makes Soos mysterious, or even scarier than Bill. You'd think a triangle with a god complex would target the guy walking around with a question mark on his shirt and nacho dust on his fingers. But he doesn't. Bill doesn't threaten Soos. doesn't even mess with him. It's like he couldn't read him, or maybe he didn't understand him. So yeah, drop your favorite Soos moment in the comments before your toaster develops feelings and tries to marry you. Don't laugh. Ask Giffany. And if you're still here, go ahead, like the video and subscribe. You clearly have excellent taste in weirdness. Thanks for watching, and don't wander too far. We've got more cursed content coming faster than a gnome in a trench coat.